but the optimism, creativity, and determinations that our businesses and civic leaders have demonstrated has had impressive results. Ladies and gentlemen, the state of our city is strong.
Good evening and welcome to Captions again. I'm so glad you joined us, and I hope you brought some friends to also enjoy Captions. Tonight we're going to be looking at and discussing the State of the City speech that was given recently by our mayor, and then we're going to talk to one of the team, Clyde Gulley, who is a councilman in the 1st District, and get his views in terms of the state of the city, as well as his views as far as the state of the 1st District that he represents. Stay tuned.
Good afternoon, everyone. When Carl Cannon says that to the room, it explodes back to him, so we'll do it again. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. There we go. Thank you. Well, it's wonderful to see such a nice crowd today. Please join me in thanking the Chamber of Commerce as well as this year's business sponsors, PSA Dewberry and RLI, for making this event possible. Be sure to check out the information at your table about the exciting renovation project happening at RLI. Yes, there is another big company whose corporate headquarters is in Peoria, and they are reinvesting in our community without any public funds. And they've engaged local design talent from Dewberry and the Mangieri companies also to do their work. What a great example of local companies collaborating to help build Peoria's economy in very challenging times. More on RLI, Dewberry, and a few others in a couple minutes. First things first. Before beginning this year's address, I would like to recognize several groups and individuals in the audience today. If you would, please hold your applause, and we'll thank everyone at the end of the mentions. Please recognize first my peers on the Peoria City Council. I'm very proud to serve with these leaders who give of their time and talent to make our city a better place to live and work. Also, other elected officials from the city, our city clerk, our city treasurer, our township supervisor, and our township assessor. Next, our city manager, Patrick Urich, and his staff, many of whom are with us this afternoon. We consider ourselves extremely fortunate to have kept Patrick and his family here in Peoria, and for the city to be the beneficiary of his considerable administrative talents. Our elected friends from Peoria County and Administrator Lori Curtis Luther. Special thanks to Chairman Tom O'Neill, who has done a great job in helping us continue to build a bridge between the city and the county. Also, welcome to other local and state elected officials and those from our school districts and other units of government. A special thanks to the local area mayors who have worked very hard to make our region stronger. Mayors Menier, Derflinger, Barra, Mingus, and Allen. I'd also like to thank our local educators and their CEOs. We're extremely fortunate to have Bradley University, the Illinois Central College, University of Illinois Springfield, U of I College of Medicine, Midstate, Robert Morris, Eureka, and nursing schools at St. Francis and Methodist, all in our area. And speaking of education, the strides that we've made in recognizing the importance of a strong educational foundation in our city would not be possible without our education liaison, Dr. Bill Collier. Bill has given literally hundreds of volunteer hours to establish effective working relationships between area educators and policymakers. And finally, to the board and members and the executive director of Peoria Promise, who we'll hear about in a few moments. Please give all these folks a nice round of applause and thanks for their hard work. Well, from both my personal and also the city's perspectives, I'm glad that 2011 is history. It was another challenging year at City Hall, as it was for many of you, but overall the accomplishments were more numerous than the setbacks. In an extremely demanding environment, Peoria leaders in business, government, and all walks of life are striving to develop local solutions to the challenges that we face. This attitude of progress through adversity has helped define our community during the historic worldwide economic challenges of the past several years, and it subsequently has made us stronger and more efficient. You know, it's easy to get caught up in the negative headlines that you see every day, but the optimism, creativity, and determinations that our businesses and civic leaders have demonstrated has had impressive results. Ladies and gentlemen, the state of our city is strong. For example, if you're not aware, check out these rankings and recognitions that we, meaning the city of Peoria, earned in 2011. The best performing cities. Peoria jumped 19 spots from 2010 and ranked 68th on the list of the top 200 largest cities in the nation, according to the Milken Institute's annual survey. We received the highest ranking in all of Illinois. The Peoria MSA jumped 38 spots to number 27 on the new Geography's list of best mid-sized cities for job growth in 2011. Peoria is rated in the top 10, number 8 cities in the country for best credit scores by Experian. And Peoria ranks 71 among the top 200 best places for business and careers, according to Forbes magazine, up from number 86 in 2010. Peoria was named in the top 10 employment gainers in the Midwest by USA Today. These are certainly great honors achieved as the result of focus and prioritization, followed by the successful accomplishments of many initiatives, the highlights of which I will try to focus on today. At the top of the list for accomplishments last year was the hiring of our new city manager, Patrick Urick. After 10 years at the county, Patrick is no stranger to the issues and politics on the city side. His passion for Peoria and his resolve to approach issues head-on with logic and keen business sense made him a huge catch for the city. The council and I are eager to continue his plans to reorganize our departmental structure to realize further efficiency. Immediately after his appointment, the manager and the council engaged in a series of strategic planning sessions. These sessions resulted in 5 objectives for the council and the manager to focus on: smart population growth, financially sound city government, grow business, responsive, efficient city organization, and lively downtown warehouse district. With these prioritized objectives in place, the council tackled another tough budget for 2012. As we continued the analysis and community discussion necessary to determine how to best go through the downsizing process, we analyzed our core services. Strategic planner Tim Cunningham from Caterpillar chaired a committee to help us identify and rank those core services in order to develop a plan to deliver these services most appropriately. Subsequently, the Pass Forward group, chaired by Doug Crew, with support from the Institute for Principled Leadership at Bradley, and a strong, dedicated group of volunteers, looked at areas of potential duplication, consolidation, or other opportunities for efficiencies at different levels of local government. I was extremely impressed when this group presented its recommendations in 3 specific areas: economic development, information technology, and public works. The group provided 22 recommendations ranging from specific to broad and from simple to complex. The most promising highlights included shared services between the city and the county in the areas of information systems and economic development. I'd like to thank all of those who participated in these important exercises, while also reminding everyone that we have a long way to go and more help will be requested. I know that I can count on people in this room and the community at large to respond again. Bringing our services in line with our expected revenues and living within our means has not been easy. Through an early retirement incentive program and modifications to some departments, our workforce was reduced again in 2011. The original plan was a reduction in force of about 52 employees, which translates into a $5 million reductions in salaries and benefits. The early retirement was quite successful, and only about 15 actual layoffs occurred. Since 2002, as you can see, we've reduced our workforce by nearly 25%, from 864 to 659 full-time employees. By charging for garbage collection, recycling, and lawn waste as a standalone service like most other communities do, we will put over $17 million into local road maintenance over the next 5 years. We accomplished a balanced budget again without raising property taxes. In 1989, our tax rate was $2.70 per $100 assessed valuation. We've reduced that rate every year since and held the rate at about $1.28 for the last 15 plus years. These moves have been necessary and helpful, but while our local elected leaders have gutted up to make and implement tough choices, unfortunately I can't say the same for some of the elected officials in Springfield. I generally prefer to have these annual talks focus on the positive, but this issue is so important, I really feel I need to touch on it briefly. There is a train bearing down on Peoria, not the kind that I'd like to see from here to Bloomington, and all other cities, and it's called pensions and post-employment benefits. As you may know, the pension costs the city is liable for are not determined in our contract negotiations. They're handed out by Springfield without regard to the burden it places on city budgets. Our annual contributions for pensions and other post-employee benefits have grown $11.2 million from 2004 to 2012, a 144% increase. As you've heard, Peoria is continuing to decisively act to reduce and control our costs, explore more public-private partnership opportunities, and creatively partner with other units of government. And these moves are helping us align with our strategic plan and move towards financial sustainability. But let me be perfectly clear to the legislators in our state's capital. The cities of Illinois can no longer absorb the perks and other commitments that you've made on our behalf. It's unconscionable that such extravagances are agreed to by people with no obligation to deliver them. I'd like to thank Representatives Keith Summers and Mike Eunice, who were the only two of our local state officials that voted against taking money from our share of the personal property replacement tax last year. State senators and representatives, once again, I challenge you to refrain from balancing your budgets by taking dollars that are designated for the cities populated by those who elect you. Another attempt will likely be made to come after these dollars, and it's vital to our economic survival that you reject any attempts to misappropriate our dollars the next time. On a side note, may I recommend maybe that our legislators offer to support a casino in Cook County only in exchange for Second Amendment rights for the entire state. It's time we were on equal ground with the other 49 states in that regard. My friends, some things have to change if cities are going to survive. The police and fire pension boards have built in 6% and 5% annual wage increases respectively over the next 20 years into their calculations to determine the city's required pension contribution. This is unsustainable even for the most fiscally healthy communities. During the last 10 years, median household income in Peoria grew by 20.4%. During that same period of time, the average wage and benefits for city employees grew by 41.8%.